Become a channel member and support the content. You also get access to exclusive videos. You'll get an emote next to your name in the comments. The link for that can be found next to the subscribe button or in the description. And if you'd rather get your coins direct rather than roll the dice with FIFA points, head to u7buy.com and at checkout use the code TVM for a discount. The link can be found down below. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video. What is the point of this video? Not really sure. It is a squad builder, but it's a squad builder that is going to contain at least 10, if not 11, overpowered meta players that you come up against all the time. The first of which, of course, is Pope. The interesting thing about this, of course, is now that there is an 84 in form. Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back is one of three choices. Wan-Bissaka, Semedo, and of course Kyle Walker. But Kyle Walker is subject to whether you have the in-form centre-back version. Like I said, I'm not really sure why I'm making this. It's just a case of these are the players I come up against all the time. And I am so bored with facing, in particular, these two centre-backs. Gomez being the first. This guy is in everyone's team. Now, I know I've got nearly 200 games. That's because at the very beginning of the game, I used him as well. I've got over 700 games in Rivals and Champs right now. So, obviously, that's why he has 200, but he hasn't played for a long time. Rafael Varane has 165 games. Those two have to be the most overused pairing in FIFA. And I am just as much a culprit as anyone else. Mendy at left back, of course, is a no-brainer because he gives a hyperlink to Varane. And, of course, he is for some reason, one of the best left backs in the game. Even with the amount of special items they have right now, Mendy is still one of the best. Rashford is a player that I don't begrudge anyone. I mean, to be fair, I don't begrudge anyone using anyone. If you want to use this team in its entirety, you do it. I'm not going to complain about it. Rashford at left mid, still a very expensive player. 5-star skills to the meta. Makes sense that people will use this card, so I'm not going to have any gripes with him necessarily. Kante is an expensive player. So even though he is, I wouldn't necessarily say overpowered because he's high rated. He should be as good as he is, but he is. Maybe is he overused? I'm not sure. Can you class a player overused if they are really good in the game and really high rated? So it's a player that people strive for. This is one of those overpowered, overused players that shouldn't really be in anyone's team, but is, and justifiably so, because he's still very good in the game. There definitely are some problems with his passing and things, but for the most part, unless you're willing to spend hundreds of thousands of coins, there's no point upgrading to anyone else. Dembele still used. In fact, I lost a weekend league game to this guy. Came off the bench and scored the winner. Not because he's that good or anything, it was just my bad defending really. But either way, he was still there to score the goal. But people still use him, that's my point. He's still one of those, maybe not as overused as he was, but he is still used an awful lot. Moving on to, I can't remember what position we're going to move on to now. I think it's the striker, Ronaldo. Now, this, of course, he's not overpowered. It's just Ronaldo, right? He's that good because he is actually that good in real life. Is he overused? I think a lot of people have him. He's not anywhere near the price that he has been in previous FIFAs. Of course, has a Team of the Year, countless informs already and such. But still, a very, very saturated player. I know not everyone has the coins to buy Ronaldo, so I understand that, but at the same time, he is used a lot. And of course, Player of the Month, João Felix, who is going to link an awful lot of these cards together, including Ronaldo. He's used a lot as well. Maybe not as much as the others. I would say 10 of those cards are used in nearly everyone's team. I would argue that you have at least 2 of the players in the starting 11 in your team. If you don't, honestly, I doff my cap. You are an absolute animal, legend, a variety gamer. It's one of those situations where I'm not going to begrudge anyone using any of those players. If your team is literally this team, it's funny, but I'm not begrudging you doing it. I'm not going to have a go at you for it. I'm not moaning about, not complaining about you using those players. What I am going to moan and complain about is EA not necessarily forcing us to use these players, but it makes it so that if you use these type of players, and on the bench here I have, 6 sort of variants or 7 variants of players that people use. So Koundé would replace Varane if you can't afford Varane. Semedo could be another option for Wan-Bissaka. Atal is one of those really cheap SBCs. He's very well rounded. People still bring him off the bench. Adama Traore, whether it be the base version or whether it still be this sort of freeze version, people have him in abundance as well. Mbappe is more on the expensive side of that, but a lot of people use Mbappe. Neymar is in that equation as well. And of course, the brand new, overpowered, overused is Kleiber and Iron Robben. Iron Robben is unbelievably quick in this game. I love using him. It's a little bit different to how you use other players because you'll bomb down the right-hand side and you'll look to cut in on the left and have a shot, which is a lot more enjoyable than the way that most people play this game by keeping the ball, passing, and literally just passing it around the midfield and waiting for something to happen. We're going to dive into a few of the clips of me using this team. I mean, to be fair, you've probably seen enough clips of these players being used. And like I said, I'm not really sure why I've decided to do this video, but it's more along the lines of that is the most overpowered, overused set of players you will see in FIFA pre-Team of the Year. Pre-winter upgrades. Let's wait and see what happens after Team of the Year, whether people pack them when we start seeing a lot more common players pop up. There is one player in particular that EA have released as an SBC that I fully expect to see in nearly everyone's team going forward from this weekend on, and that is Jerome Boateng. And, of course, the in-form version of Pope. I don't expect to see an awful lot of Team of the Year Ronaldos or anything, but I do expect to see a lot of red Popes, a lot of in-form Popes, and an awful lot of Jerome Boateng. Maybe now with Alphonso Davies at left back creeping in there instead of the current left back option of Mendy. Maybe people replace Varane, maybe people replace Gomez, but it'll be interesting to see in a few weeks' time what the average, most overused, overpowered team is compared to this one. This has been dominant in the very first half of FIFA 21, and I can't be the only one who is bored to the back teeth of going into a game, whether it be champs, whether it be rivals, and seeing that centre-back pairing of Joe Gomez and Rafael Varane. If it's not those two, it's Koundé and Gomez, and if it's not those two, it is Varane and Van Dijk. Those are the 4 most rotated centre-backs in the game. Now, I've tried in recent weeks to move away from those sort of most overused players. I put 1 or 2 into the team, maybe I put 4 or 5 into the team, but I'll try and throw in some random players in there. You know, I've been using Gravenberch a little bit. Now that new Dybala's come out, I've used that. I've got the new Suarez. I've been using him as well. And I've tried to move away from some of the most overused players. The problem I have is the centre-back pairing is very difficult because unless you have the money to go and buy Kyle Walker to replace Joe Gomez, there's not really that many options. So I'm kind of hoping that EA give us some different options. They already have Jerome Boateng, hoping that they do that again with another player from maybe another league to maybe give us another option again. Let me know what team you're running in the comments. If you want to tweet me a team, the link for that is down below. We'll maybe do a video on everyone's teams and see what the most overused players are, the most common players are. Maybe I've got it a little bit wrong here or there, but if I saw that team in Weekend League, I would not be surprised in the slightest. Let me know what team you're running. Either type it out or send me a tweet. Link for that, like I said, is in the description. If you have enjoyed this video and want to see more type of squad builders, then hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.